Aux armes, citoyens. It's Bastille Day. So welcome to another episode of my mini art talks. It's Janet Mandel. So today I'm going to talk about this painting. It's by Eugène Delacroix. It's called Liberty Leading the People, and it's from 1830, and can be found at the Musée du Louvre in Paris. Now, this scene actually does not depict the French Revolution, which of course the Bastille celebrates, but it commemorates the July Revolution of 1830. And that toppled King Charles X and created a constitutional monarchy and installed Louis Philippe on the throne, and he was called the Citizen King. So for 3 days, from July 27th to the 29th on 1830, the working class and the middle class set up barricades in Paris and fought the royal army. And that's what we can see here, is this woman who is personifying liberty. She's going over the barricades and leading the fight. Now, this classical symbol of liberty is something that was used throughout art history, but Delacroix here pictures her really in a dual role. She's both an allegorical goddess figure, and at the same time, she's a very robust, modern woman of the people. She's bare-breasted, her yellow dress is swirling around her body, and it's loosely tied with that wonderful red rope, and it falls over her shoulders, and it's kind of reminiscent of a heroic Greek sculpture. And her head is shown in profile here, and that's kind of like the face on a classical coin from antiquity. But yet she's also a woman of the moment. She's wearing this red Phrygian cap. You see, now this was worn by the working classes, and it was made very popular during the French Revolution. And also her modernity is heightened by this the fact that she's carrying the flag, the tricolore, the bleu, blanc, rouge, the symbol of the revolution, and she hoists it over her head. She's also, in her other hand, carrying a musket with a bayonet. And some critics of the day, 1830, in critiquing this painting, said that she had grimy skin and it looked like she had underarm hair, and they thought she was way too human to be personified as this idealized version of liberty. So I guess that even during a revolution, women are supposed to pay attention to their grooming or whatever. But what's another interesting thing about this painting, and something that actually happened during this fight, was that she is joined by people from all classes in France. You have someone from the bourgeoisie, and we see him here. He's got his top hat and his coat, and he's also carrying a hunting rifle. So he was from the upper classes. But then you also have a working class man right next to him with a saber. You can tell that by his hat. And then also there's a student here, and we recognize him from his cap as well. This is a cap that was sported by the students at the École Polytechnique. So he is there fighting as well. And aside from her the flag here, which is such an important symbol of the revolution, we also see back here in the background, which is a cityscape of Paris, and we see Notre Dame here in the back. Flying from the top of Notre Dame is also a little mini tricolore, bleu, blanc, rouge, flying at the top. But you can see here just very, very briefly. And to me, this is kind of Delacroix's way of saying that by having the flag fly on the cathedral, the great cathedral in Paris, it's his way of saying that God is on the side of the revolutionaries, which of course they were all certain of. Now, by the time Delacroix painted this work, he was already acknowledged as the leader of the Romantic movement. Romanticism was a school in French painting. It was characterized, as you can see here in this work, by intense emotion and individualism and spontaneity, all of which is here. and also many romantic paintings glorified the past, which this painting does, as I've been trying to communicate to you the past and the present as well. Now, Delacroix painted this work in the autumn of 1830, right after these events transpired, and he wrote a letter to his brother. He said, "My bad mood is vanishing thanks to hard work. I've embarked on a modern subject, a barricade. And if I haven't fought for my country, at least I'll paint for her." So I think he was feeling a little guilty that he himself had not been out on the barricades with these people. Now, this painting was very influential, has been influential throughout the times that came after. It may have influenced Victor Hugo's novel, Les Miserables, and of course the musical, the Broadway musical since then. I think you can definitely see that this figure of this young boy is like that figure that we saw in Les Mis and in the film of Les Mis. And also it probably influenced Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi's Liberty Enlightening the World, which we know, of course, is the Statue of Liberty, which was a gift from France to the United States. Now, it's also been appropriated in even more modern times. It was appropriated by the British band Coldplay. It was their album cover for Viva la Vida. And also, I love this one. It was a scene in The Simpsons, in one of the Simpsons episodes, which I think is totally hilarious here. And also, someone who doesn't like Donald Trump very much, an artist named Gordon Caldwell, made this one. And it's really kind of frightening. You know, you see Donald now is the one carrying the American flag forward through this hellscape here, which looks like photographs from Syria, actually. And then this image here, this is that iconic image of the young girl from the Vietnam War. And they're coming over the barricades in this river of blood, all these bloody people. This is Boris Johnson, by the way, here. And then, oh, look at this. This is this dove, the symbol of peace, is just impaled on this spike here. And then here in this corner, he's got a postage stamp of Donald with his besties, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-il. So that one is pretty frightening. And there's even been a Lego version of Liberty Leading the People, which is actually quite charming in its own way. So Delacroix has given us what's become really the defining image of not only French Romanticism, but also one of the most enduring modern images of revolution. So on this Bastille Day 2020, with this horrible pandemic raging around us, I hope that you're safe. But I also hope that you're thinking about fighting for freedom. And au revoir, citoyens. Le jour de gloire may not be arrivé yet, but we can be vigilant. And if you'd like, I hope you'll join me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Janet Mandel Art Talks, where I post these little mini art talks and also art news from around the world that I think you'll find interesting. I also have a YouTube channel where you may be watching this mini art talk from that YouTube channel. If you're not, please go over there and subscribe and hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications. And I'm on Instagram. And also I do have a web page, and on my web page I have listed the schedule for my longer art talks that I'm doing. I'm doing a few more this month in July and a few in August, and then I'll take a little break, and then there'll be more in the fall, probably all remote, but we are looking forward to the time when we can go back in person and do these wonderful do talks with an audience, which is just so wonderful to do, get that feedback. But you can leave me feedback on my Facebook page or on the YouTube channel as well, and I would appreciate it. So thank you. Enjoy Bastille Day. Bye bye now.